The sound of raindrops echoed against the large empty halls of the sprawling Victorian mansion. Eleanor Clark sat by the window, her fingers trembling as she held a photograph. A photograph of the man who had shattered her world and pieced it back together in ways she never thought possible. But the secret she harbored now was one she could never reveal. A secret that could destroy not just her but everyone she loved. Eleanor had moved to the quiet town of Clearwater, Ohio, to escape the suffocating city life. At 32, she was a woman of grace and intellect, running her boutique art gallery. Her life was simple yet fulfilling, until the day Samuel Carter walked into her gallery. Samuel, a charismatic man in his late 30s, was a renowned architect visiting Clearwater to oversee a new project. His presence was magnetic. His hazel eyes seemed to pierce through Eleanor's carefully crafted facade of calm. They exchanged pleasantries, but their connection was undeniable, a spark that neither could ignore. Eleanor knew Samuel was married. His wedding ring glinted under the soft gallery lights as a cruel reminder. But there was an unspoken pull between them, a force that seemed impossible to resist. Weeks turned into months, and Samuel became a frequent visitor to the gallery. Their conversations grew deeper, more personal. Eleanor learned about Samuel's strained marriage to Margaret, a socialite who was more invested in appearances than affection. Samuel, in turn, was drawn to Eleanor's authenticity and passion for life. One rainy evening, after an art exhibition, their lingering gazes turned into a kiss. It was a moment of weakness, but it felt like the culmination of something inevitable. "We can't do this," Eleanor whispered, pulling away. "I know," Samuel replied, his voice heavy with regret. "But I can't stay away from you." Their affair began in secrecy, meeting in secluded spots and stolen moments. But the weight of their actions loomed over them, especially for Eleanor, who had always valued integrity. Months into their affair, Eleanor discovered she was pregnant. The realization hit her like a tidal wave. She knew this child would be a symbol of their forbidden love, a truth that could never be revealed. Samuel noticed her growing distance and confronted her. "Eleanor, what's wrong? You've been pulling away," he asked, his concern genuine. I can't do this anymore," she replied, tears streaming down her face. "It's too much." Samuel's gaze softened as he stepped closer. "Talk to me, Eleanor. What's going on?" Unable to hold back, she blurted out, "I'm pregnant, Samuel." Silence filled the room. Samuel's face was a mixture of shock and disbelief. "Are you sure?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Eleanor nodded, her heart pounding. "I'm keeping the baby. But you don't have to be involved. I won't ruin your life. You think I could just walk away from you? From our child?" Samuel said, his voice firm. "I need time to figure this out, but I'm not abandoning you." As the months passed, Eleanor's pregnancy became harder to hide. Rumors began to spread in the small town. Margaret, Samuel's wife, started to suspect her husband's frequent trips to Clearwater weren't just about work. Margaret hired a private investigator, who uncovered the affair and Eleanor's pregnancy. Armed with this knowledge, Margaret confronted Samuel. "How could you do this to me?" Margaret screamed, throwing the photographs of him and Eleanor onto the table. "You've humiliated me." Samuel tried to explain, but Margaret's anger turned to vengeance. She threatened to ruin Eleanor's reputation and take everything Samuel held dear if he didn't end the affair immediately. Eleanor knew the storm that was coming. She decided to leave Clearwater to protect her child and Samuel's career. Without telling Samuel, she packed her belongings and moved to a small town in Vermont. Samuel was devastated when he found out. He tried to contact Eleanor, but she left no trace. Heartbroken, he returned to his life with Margaret, though the love he felt for Eleanor lingered like a shadow. Years passed. Eleanor raised her daughter, Lily, in Vermont, giving her a life filled with love and creativity. But Lily often asked about her father, and Eleanor knew the day would come when she'd have to tell the truth. Meanwhile, Samuel's marriage to Margaret deteriorated further. He filed for divorce, finally freeing himself from the toxic relationship. One day, while sorting through old files, he found a letter Eleanor had written but never sent. The letter revealed where she had gone and her reasons for leaving. Determined, Samuel traveled to Vermont. When he saw Eleanor again, holding the hand of a young girl with hazel eyes just like his, he knew he had found his family. Eleanor and Samuel faced many challenges as they rebuilt their lives together, but their love endured. They decided to share their story with Lily when she was old enough, teaching her about love, mistakes, and redemption. Though their tale began with betrayal, it ended with hope. A reminder that even in the darkest moments, love has the power to heal and transform.